everybody. My name is Max, and this is either the first time you're seeing me, or you've seen my other trumpet reviews. It's been a long time since I've uploaded the last one. I believe a year and a half or almost 2 years now since I've uploaded a trumpet review, and that's because I've been collecting a lot of horns. I've been trying them out. Some of them I've gotten rid of, and the main reason is also because of the backdrop behind me. I am not in my apartment anymore. I actually ended up buying a house, and that is because due to the rising prices of apartments in town and me not getting paid. I was getting paid a bit more each year, but I decided I wanted kind of a fixed living cost, and right now I'm paying about $1,000 a month for my mortgage, which is for what I'm making very affordable. So I decided to go with that and dip my feet into becoming a homeowner, and I did that as of last year, basically a year ago. It was in 2023, but it was in late 2023. I am playing on a Besson 700 series cornet. In Connecticut, where I'm originally from, I used to play in the Charter Oak Brass Band, and that was a British brass band, so there was no trumpets involved. It was either cornets. I was a solo cornet chair, and it was a lot of fun. We got to play a lot of things. I did not get this horn until I moved out into the Midwest, so I was actually playing on a Yamaha, which is reviewed on this channel. But I've played this horn many a times in big band settings, local around this area. I've played it on their solo chair. That's because I like horn players like Ray Nance. I like horn players like, I believe Freddie Hubbard has also played cornet in one instance, and Thad Jones has played extensively with cornet. In particular, he played cornet on a couple of his solo dates, but with the Thelonious Monk Big Band on the Live at Lincoln Center album, recorded, I believe, in 1963. Yeah, this horn is really fun to play, more so because I'm a person of small stature, so I like having a horn that's kind of, I guess, more fit to my size, and this horn is very comfortable to play. I could play a lot of plunger on it too, and in this big band I play the horn in, I've done a lot of plunger solos. I've had to do plunger work, so it's a lot easier for me to and it's easier because of this horn is shorter. One thing that you probably know about cornets, if you don't know the difference between a trumpet and a cornet, is it has to do with the word conical, and that has to do with the tubing on the actual horn. And I can't remember if conical applies to the trumpet or if it applies to the cornet, but basically the trumpet, the inner tubing from the mouthpiece receiver to the tuning slide is the same on the trumpet. It's the same inner diameter, whereas the cornet, it gradually gets bigger. So if we compare, we can actually do this. We can compare the tuning slide, the inner diameter, to the tuning slide, or to the mouthpiece receiver, and we see that the mouthpiece receiver is a lot smaller than the I need to empty my spit valve, but we see that it's smaller. Actually, I did put this in the wrong way. Besson is a British manufacturer of trumpets. I don't know what other horns they make, but they are pretty solid horns. This horn is really nice in its build quality. I find its valves to play really nicely. I really love, one of my favorite parts about the cornet is the shepherd's crook here. It makes it really easy for me to hold them. And this horn uniquely also has it's either lyre or lyre. I always get it wrong, and a third slide trigger, which makes it easier to kick it out for tuning on your third valve, since it runs a bit sharp. But I cheat with my lips, and I usually lip down on those notes regardless, unless I'm holding a really long note. But yeah, this horn is great. I have no complaints about this horn. I have played with it extensively. In fact, it's probably my go-to horn for going to jazz open sessions and playing in a non-big band setting. If I'm playing in a concert setting, then I'll usually take out my trumpet because I can't exactly play as high or project as loud with this horn as my other lead horns. And also my mouthpiece, I'm limited by the mouthpiece that I play on this. The mouthpiece I'm currently playing on, originally it was a Besson 7C that came with this horn, but now I'm working with a Rudy Muck 17C, which I believe is kind of similar to the mouthpiece that Clifford Brown used. He used a Box 17C, but Rudy Muck was also popular with some of the jazz musicians back in the 40s. Like I believe Dizzy Gillespie and Fats Navarro both played on similar mouthpieces, on Rudy Muck mouthpieces, but I'll have to fact check that. Without talking and prolonging this review, I am going to play the horn some more, and then I'll do a range test. And as I upload more reviews, I'll get back into the swing of things and back into a flow, because I'm a bit rusty with talking in front of a camera in this capacity. So let me mess around for a little bit. Let me do a quick range test on this guy. Again, I don't usually use this horn for lead playing or anything like that. So I'm mostly limited by my own ability to play. And I try not to blame the equipment that I'm using. Well, some of it does impact like what mouthpiece you're using and what horn you're using. Some of that does in fact affect your playing. But professional players try to find ways around that. And I'm not labeling myself as a professional player. I just like playing trumpet for fun and just haven't put down the horn. And I encourage you watching this video, if you like trumpets and you've played in the past, I encourage you not to put down your horn either. Music is a lot of fun, and it's a good way to express yourself, especially if your main line of work has nothing to do with music. It's a good kind of out to kind of escape from the monotony of like kind of day-to-day life. All right, let's do a range test. Let's over and under. I will say I will get to an E. I will say I get to an E, and I won't go. I may go over the E to like an F. Yeah. Okay, cool. Enough of my rambling. This has been a Besson 700 Cornet review. The Cornet itself is very great. If you don't have a Cornet of this caliber, I believe this is like kind of an intermediate horn. I would recommend trying to look out for one of these. I bought this for fairly cheap, and it's served me ever since. And since I don't do professional cornet playing, I won't need to upgrade. I had my issues with the Yamaha the beginner cornet that I used to play. One, because it was so expensive, because I bought it new from, or it was bought new from a music store, like kind of not a second-hand music store, but it was bought from Music and Arts. And while it was useful for doubles at the time, I had to play doubles for musicals. It was often frustrating to play, and part of that was because of the mouthpiece change, but also just the horn itself had its own quirks that I didn't quite like. Whereas this horn, I really like. I enjoy it a lot, and I'm gonna keep on playing it unless I find some nuts cornet that I'm like, I can't say no to this. But until then, this has been the Besson 700 Cornet review. This is a phenomenal horn, and I can't state enough, if you need an upgrade for cornet, keep your eye out for these, because they're good. I'm gonna be keeping this one, so I think unless I find like a crazy cornet, I don't know. All right, have a good one.